Welcome back, folks. Sport Federation TV, we keep talking sport in the province, as you know. Well, of course, if you've been watching the show, you will know that a few weeks ago, or at least, in fact, it feels like a few weeks ago, but it was more than that, where we spoke to Nick Walker from figure skating in Cape Town. Of course, we know the figure skaters are very active at Grand West on the ice rink there. Not too many ice rinks in Cape Town, but nevertheless, we've got Nick back on the show with us. Nick, welcome back to Sport Federation TV. How are things there with you?
Hi, JP. Thanks for having us again. Yeah, things are going all right. Recovering slowly from COVID obviously caused problems for every sport, including ours. But gradually, as things are easing up, we're getting more back into the swing of things. We just finished off our season in June with our national championships, which went surprisingly well considering the challenges faced by everybody leading up to that. So we're quite happy to get the new season started off.
Big event for you guys coming up now.
Yes, so this is the Cape Interprovincial Championships. Our sport has three major interprovincial championships throughout the year, which lead up to nationals at the end of the season. And this is the first one of the season, so it's the first big event for our top level skaters to attend. And for those that haven't yet qualified, it's an opportunity for them to try and get the qualifying scores needed to participate at the national championships.
So you've got the interprovincials now, and then later in the year, I believe you've got the nationals.
Yes, so our season, which follows the international skating season, is from the 1st of July every year to the 30th of June. And we typically have our national championships towards May, June, that region. April, May, June, it changes based on the year. But prior to that, we'll have various competitions, of which the biggest ones are our interprovincial championships. Like I said, we have three: the Cape Interprovincial, which is what we're doing now this coming week. Then there's the Gauteng Interprovincial and the KZN Interprovincial. The big difference between these interprovincials and nationals being that to attend nationals, you have to have achieved a qualifying score and be selected. Whereas the interprovincials, the barrier to entry is a lot easier. Yeah. But it's an opportunity for skaters it's an official opportunity for skaters to try and qualify. Because in our sport, you do your skates and you get a score at the end of it. And those scores are what you use to qualify. So the skaters will be eager to try and put their best foot forward as soon as possible. So it takes the pressure off towards the end of the season.
And Nick, just tell us a little bit about the skaters themselves. What sort of age groups are we looking at here?
Well, it's varied. You know, typically the majority of our skaters will start between the ages of 5, 6, 7, somewhere around there. And this goes all the way up to, there's almost no limit on what age you can be.
Right, right.
We currently have seniors that are in their lower 20s, in their early 20s. And we've got kids skating in the lower sections as young as 6, 7. The sport is very much based on age. The categories and the sections are age-based, so you do progress as you go along.
So just on the day itself, do the athletes compete in different codes or different disciplines? And is it age-based? So what happens on the day itself?
Okay, so with the higher age groups are typically split into two programs. So you'll have your short program and your free skate, or long program as some call it. The younger categories will skate just the one program. So yeah, on the day they will usually on the first day they will all skate their short programs, and on the second day their free programs. How it works in figure skating, you have various codes. Like you mentioned, we have free skating, which is where you see the one skater on the ice doing their jumps and spins, etc. We have synchronized skating, which is as it says, it's synchronized. We have a team of between 14 and 16 skaters skating a synchronized routine. Sadly, we're not going to be having one of those teams competing in this event. They weren't quite ready. And then you've got other disciplines such as ice dance and pair skating, which to the untrained eye is very difficult to tell apart. And that's where you would have two partners. The girls, there are many girls and there's not very many boys. So in terms of selecting partners, it's quite difficult. So what we brought out here, based on what some other countries are doing, is it's called solo dance, where a skater will go out and do effectively a dance routine, an ice dance routine, but without a partner. And we're going to be hosting that event as well as part of our Cape Interprovincial. In terms of the sections, like I said, they're age rated. So you would have, from your juveniles and your pre-novice up to your junior men and women and your senior men and women. It does get a little bit intricate, but yeah, you have different sections and there are boundaries with ages. So you have to be at least a certain age or at max a certain age to participate in that section. So it does keep it kind of like ages per section.
Nick, behind the scenes, though, I'm assuming that there's quite a lot of admin behind the scenes. You're talking about a lot of different what you refer to as programs or disciplines that the athletes, sections that the athletes have to. But then, of course, you need judges that are capable of judging such very fine details. I mean, we see these things on TV where there's a panel of judges looking at things. So behind the scenes, there must be quite an administrative machine that has to look at things.
Yeah, I'm sure, as you can imagine, there is quite a lot. There's a lot involved in having suitable technical panels that we can use to adjudicate these sections. They need to have not only the qualifying criteria at themselves. Our judges all have certain levels and promotions that they go through in order to be able to judge certain sections. As you can imagine, the older sections are probably a lot more complicated than the younger ones. And it is a challenge. It's very much a challenge. We don't have a hell of a lot of people going into the sport from an administrative point of view on a technical level. Yeah. So our pool of judges is quite narrow. And yes, as you can imagine as well, every section has different rules. The rules and requirements required for a senior man is going to be very different to that of an 8-year-old child. So the judges also not only need to know the technical elements and what they are, they also need to know what rules and what elements are allowed per age category. So it's quite a big deal. We're very grateful for our judges that do that, and we can only hope that we attract more skaters and ex-skaters that want to go into that line, because at the end of the day, once our people start getting older and retiring, we don't have a huge amount of them coming through. So that's definitely a challenge, or going to be a challenge over the next few years.
And Nick, is everything done to music? Are all the different sections done to music?
Yeah, so everything is done to music. We're quite lucky these days. A few years ago, rules changed, and that they now allow contemporary music and music with lyrics, where in the past that wasn't the case. Everything had to be instrumental or classical. The nice thing about this is it's opened it up quite a lot in terms of creativity and choreography. It's just broadened the spectrum so much, and you're seeing so many different types of programs, and more suited to the personalities of the skater as well. So you're getting your contemporary skaters, you're getting your classical skaters, and while the elements are pretty much the same, the interpretation and the choreography is very different, and it does add quite a lot of excitement and variety to what we've seen in the past.
I think it's absolutely fantastic. Nick, I'm assuming that if anybody's watching the show right now and want to join Cape Town figure skating and come and have some fun with you guys and get involved, that they can visit the website that we've got running at the bottom here, wpfigureskating.co.za.
Yes, that's correct. On the website there is a form you can complete, and somebody will get back to you and advise based on what you're looking for and what you're hoping to achieve and where your next port of call will be. It is a complicated sport, especially to new people coming into it. There's a lot of information that's needed. And we're there to guide anybody who's interested in joining the sport, all ages, any level that you're at. I'm sure we can find somewhere for you to get involved.
Well, from my perspective, it might be complicated for you, but from my perspective, it just looks like so much fun, and that the kids that are doing it, when we see them on the ice rink, that they are just having an absolute ball. And I think that is fantastic. I think it's such a unique sport, hopefully that anyone who's watching now bolsters your figure skating ranks, and that you see thousands more athletes coming to join you.
I hope so too. Now, thanks so much for the opportunity.
There we go, folks. Nick Walker, Western Province figure skating, or Cape Town figure skating. www.figureskating.co.za, wpfigureskating.co.za. They, of course, are at the Grand West ice rink. As I said, I think it's a fantastic sport. And, we every now and then we get a glimpse of it on in the Olympics, for example, or elsewhere, and it really does look fantastic. Get involved. Go join up. Folks, so we'll take a break. When we come back from break, we'll carry on talking about sport in the province. Back in a sec.